It's Monday. That sounded awful. Hey guys, I'm Alexandra Harbushka, founder of Life with Herpes, founder of AlexandraHarbushka.com, and also founder of the Secret Society Wellness products that I'm obsessed with. So anyways, I'm excited to be with you here on Monday. Yay. Hi Bella. Hi friends. If you're watching the replay, I do this daily, or try to do it daily throughout the week. These are also posted on the IGTV as well as on Instagram or on YouTube, so you guys can tune in and ask. I post daily and like the little Q&A for Instagram, like on the Instagram stories, what you want to post or like what questions you have. So feel free to ask them there, or ask them directly into this group. So anyways, I think it's just such a great way for us to connect, get to know each other, and then I can answer your questions directly. So, and I haven't even talked about it. We're having a live retreat. Oh my gosh, you guys have to come. It's July 30th, 31st, and 1st here in Las Vegas, Nevada at the JW Marriott. It is an awesome, awesome property. So I'm excited about that. But we are having like cocktails. We're having some great speakers come in. We're having an exotic dancer teach us how to dance. We are doing, we have a chef coming in. It's going to be really fun. Hey, Autumn. So go check out lifewithherpes.com, the retreat, and get your information. I only have a total of 25 spots available. I don't know how many we have right now because it is selling. So I want to keep it really intimate so that we can like kumbaya in there, like really get into it. All right, my friends. Just, hey, it's Monday. Everybody having a good Monday? I hope so. I totally ruined my shirt today. See that? Like how it's dark. I was making a salad and I squeezed the lemon and the lemon totally stained my shirt. So not a cool thing to do. Okay. Do you sometimes feel depressed about herpes? Okay, that's a very good question, and that's a very good natural okay feeling. I like to call it the Eeyore phase. And because Eeyore is like gray cloud, rain. Hey, Daisy. Deep, dark cloud, rain, like, ho-hum, just, my life's okay, and that's what I call when we're diagnosed and we're stuck in that gray cloud. No matter where we go, that gray cloud follows us. And so, yeah, I was there for 2 years. It was the Eeyore phase lasts. I was personally there for 2 years. I don't want you to be there for 2 years. That is way too long. One of the reasons why I felt I was there for 2 years is there was no support. This is back in 2011. This didn't exist. This didn't exist. Any type of support group didn't exist. Any type of information that was relevant, that wasn't some just like a, what's the word? Not dark. Very sterile. Like a lot of the information that was online was extremely sterile. It was like medical. I didn't want that. I wanted to feel like everybody else, like normal, not like this. I was diagnosed with some like weird thing that only aliens get, and like you're gonna go have to live on a special island because no one's ever gonna watch you. Like that's literally how I felt. Do I still get depressed? I don't get depressed over it. There are times I may get anxious, or I may get angry. It's not often. It's usually hormonal. Anxiety so anxiety is when you're unsure, like you're not in control of a situation. And so I may get anxious over it, like, oh my gosh, what if I accidentally gave it to my son? Like that's something that I can get anxious about, but depressed in a deep spot, no. But anxiety and depression was described to me by a psychiatrist. And he said, life is like a roller coaster, right? Some of the roller coasters are really high and some of them are really low. Other parts are like this, right? So what happens with anxiety and depression, the anxiety is when you're way, way, way up here in like the highest part of a roller coaster, that can be extremely scary. And when you're way down here at the bottom of the roller coaster, that's the deep, deep, deep depression. The rest of this, you want to feel, right? This is life. It's being alive. It's having happy days and sad days. It's part of it. So just remember, it is a roller coaster. Whatever goes up must come down. It's a natural law, right? It's a law of physics. That law exists. So just remember, it does go up, it does come down, and that's okay. Okay? But really what does happen, and what I did and what needs to happen for all of us, is we need to take ownership of our diagnosis. I was just recording a video about this for FemaClear, and I talked about ownership, I talked about forgiveness, and those are two really important things that we need to do when we are diagnosed. So great question, and you know, yeah, it's part of life to have anxiety or depression. You know, some people go into anxiety, some people go into depression. But I've also learned for anxiety, some things that help me are CBD. I'd never tried it, and until last summer, because I was pregnant, that whole thing, you know, couldn't try it. And I've noticed that I use it daily now. I put it on my body. It's in our Secret Society wellness products. I use the Everyday Wellness Oil on my body every day. And I've noticed that when I've had extreme anxiety, if I just go put that on or use the positivity lotion, like I just feel better about it. So, yeah, that's great. I mean, it's not great to be anxious or depressed, but again, these are natural things, and we should try to work through them and accept them and not try to avoid them and go like this to them, because the more we do this, the more it really comes in our face at some point in time. So hope that answers all your questions, guys, on that. Can antivirals actually trigger outbreaks? I would say no. I would say antivirals are really good at what they do. What they do is they keep the virus dormant in our system. When the virus is dormant in our system, we're not able to transmit the virus. We're not able to have outbreaks. Now, that doesn't mean that they're 100% foolproof. Or not foolproof isn't the word, but they're 100%, like we have this virus, like nothing's 100%. You can still get outbreaks with an antiviral, and you can still transmit herpes even though you're taking the antiviral. So what it does is it lessens the transmission rate by 48%. So no, the antivirals, they should not be causing outbreaks. Potentially there's something else going on, whether it's a lifestyle choice, whether it's anxiety or depression, whether it's something that you're eating. When I say lifestyle choice, I mean lack of sleep. Maybe you do have some other things going on in your life. You know, maybe you're putting too much stress on your body. Maybe you're working out too hard. Not to say that working out is bad, because it's not. I work out every single day. But maybe like, you know, like if I went to become a triathlete, that's probably pretty hard on your body, right? You know, or like Ironman or like Spartan race. It's not me. Do you take antiviral medication every day or only when you have outbreaks? So I personally take it when I have outbreaks. I originally took it when I was first diagnosed. Well, I was in denial when I was first diagnosed. I was like, I'm never going to take this. I don't have this. Whatever. Got through that phase. I then was on it pretty consistently, and was on it for 3 years consistently. And I only had one outbreak in those 3 years, and it was at the end of the 3 years. So, and it was like the week before I got off of it, ironically. So I only take it when I have active outbreaks, and I don't always take it when I have outbreaks. That's the nice thing about herpes, like opposed to any other bacterial infection. You do not have to take the antiviral in order to like get over it. Other things, like for example, if you had strep throat, you would need to take the antibiotic, right? Like strep throat can actually kill you, right? Herpes can't kill you. You know, other things like other STIs, if you don't have the antibiotic, it can cause a lot of damage internally. So it is really important that you get that. But that's the nice thing about herpes. You don't have to take it. Okay, let's ask. Whoa, got lots. Whoa, you guys went crazy. Do I kiss my baby boy on the cheek? I kiss my baby boy all over. I don't intentionally kiss him on the mouth. I don't like intentionally kiss him on the mouth. It happens. I feed him from my same fork. We'll drink out of the same water glass. You know, I don't intentionally, like I said, kiss him on the mouth. He kisses me. That's different. In the sense that, like, yeah, I guess I'm his mom in his first love, or he sees, you know, mom and dad kissing. I don't know. But I kiss him everywhere. So wait, let me clarify, everywhere. Not like down there. But like, I kiss him all. I just like eat him up, So yeah, I love him. You recently received a positive HSV-1 blood test, but a negative culture. Okay. You're in a 1.5 year committed relationship and unsure how to proceed here. Any suggestions? Okay. One thing about the culture, I'll use my mouth as an example. I have HSV-1. Right now, if you were to swab my mouth, I would most likely be negative for the culture. If you were to take my blood, I would be positive, right? So I have the antibodies in my blood, but I don't have an outbreak right now. So I would most likely test negative. You're going to test negative if it's too soon, like if it's just like beginning phases of the outbreak, like a beginning tingle. And if the scabs have started to appear and it's like started to heal, you're most likely going to test negative. So just keep that in mind. As far as being in a relationship for 1.5 years and this just coming up, it is very common for people to be diagnosed and have like an initial outbreak and not know what it was. It's very common for people to come in contact with it, have it lie dormant in your system, and boom, pop out years later. That's kind of the tricky thing about this herpes virus is the incubation period for everybody is extremely different. Most common is like 2 to 14 days within like 2 weeks, but other people can be years. So most likely, Kathleen, you either have had this for a very long time and didn't know, or you were introduced to it from your recent partner and this is now just happening, like you're having an outbreak, or I don't know why you were diagnosed if you just went in for a routine check. Yeah, but keep that in mind. No, I hate when okay, you push things and then you can't. Anyways, Instagram. Just getting here, I am allowed to. Just getting here, you're allowed to what? I'm glad you're here. I mean, not glad that you have herpes, of course, but I'm glad you're here. Okay, great question. So you don't need to take the antiviral if you have herpes. It's up to you. It's not something you have to take now for the rest of your life. What it does do is it keeps it dormant in your system. It lowers the transmission rate by 48%. If you don't want to take it, it's not something you have to take. It's something that's great that definitely takes care of an outbreak, speeds up the recovery. It is FDA proven that it does speed up the recovery time of an outbreak, but you don't have to take it. So yeah, keep that in mind. The new person I'm dating is still nervous to get intimate. What other things can I share with him to make him feel more comfortable? Yeah, I mean, that's completely understandable. And we have to respect our partner's needs. I would just share with him what methods you are doing to prevent transmission. Are you on the antiviral? Do you get outbreaks like never? Do you get outbreaks all the time? Are you going to use protection? Are you not going to use protection? We completely understand that person's fear, understandably, because of the stigma. It's made it really, really hard. Again, I would just go back to what methods you're using. I'd go back to statistics. The antiviral lowers the transmission rate by 48%. Using a condom, it protects your partner between 30 and 50% of the time. The transmission rate from herpes positive female to non-herpes positive male with no outbreaks, no condoms, and no antivirals, I had to close my eyes to think about that, it is a 4% chance. With a herpes positive male to a non-herpes positive female, no condom, no antiviral, no outbreak, you have a 10% chance, right? So I would just go over statistics with your partner and have your partner get tested. Maybe he has it already and doesn't even know it. That happens. It's very common for people to like actually end up having it and not even knowing that they have it. Yeah, you take the antiviral and I feel like and it helps a lot, but I can stop taking it then. See what works for your body. Everybody's body is different. There may be times in your life where you're like, I need to take this right now. There's certain times in my life that I'm like, I can't handle having an outbreak with right now. I can't deal with it. So I'm going to take it. Perfect example is on vacation or traveling. I can't handle the stress on my body for traveling causes a lot of anxiety in my body, I guess, and gives me outbreaks. So I take it when I travel, you know? Are these statistics per act? Is this for both strains of HSV? It's for both types. It is not per act. I don't know if it's per act. Gosh, I don't know. I don't know if you have like every time it's a 10% chance. I just think it's in general. The best method of preventing transmission to your partner is taking the antiviral. That is going to be the best way. So, but I don't know if it's per act. That's a good question. It's actually really hard to find these statistics. I don't know why they don't put them out there for us. It's like a difficult thing to find. Why is HSV1 not showing up in blood work when I have a few cold sores since a child? I don't know. That I don't know. I don't know. The best way to find that out, or if you really want the test to show, would be to go get a Western blot test, BLOT. It is from the University of Washington, and they have the most accurate test possible. I've talked to people who have been there. They know they're herpes positive. They get outbreaks, yet they keep testing negative with the antibodies. And so they've gone to get the Western blot, and then it's come back positive, and they're finally like, well, at least now I know. You know, I don't know. I don't know. The best thing I'd say is either try to get that figured out, or just say, I know I have it. Like, why do I need it? Why do I need a positive result for it? I know I have it. Yeah. Let's see. Is taking baths good for it? Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm being a hypocrite right now, as I am going to tell you to take an Epsom salt bath. I am not a huge bath taker, so that's why. But every time I take an Epsom salt bath, I know, if I feel an outbreak coming on, and if I were to take 5 minutes to myself and jump in the bathtub, it would be a huge help. The Epsom salt baths, Epsom salt baths, actually, did you know that you can only call Epsom salt baths, they're special salts? You can't, a salt bath is a salt bath, but Epsom salt baths are special salts that come from the Epsom out of Great Britain. They're like a location. Who knew? I didn't know that. Okay. Anyways, Epsom salt baths add minerals to our body. They basically, it will dehydrate us, so make sure you drink water, especially water with lemon, while you take your baths. But they can dehydrate you while you're in the bath, but they also replenish your body with lots of other not essential nutrients, but vitamins and minerals like magnesium, other great stuff. They also help relax your nervous system, and that's where the herpes virus lives. It lives in our nervous system. So if your nervous system is relaxed and not like this, it's going to make it so when your nervous system's like this, it's actually a really good state for the herpes virus. It's like, oh, it's crazy. I get to go have an outbreak. When it's relaxed and calm, it actually doesn't make it a nice environment for the herpes virus. It makes it much more difficult for you to get an outbreak. So yeah, Epsom salt baths are key. Absolutely key. Take them. And I use the essential bath oils in my bath. Yeah, do it. Our recovery soak has all sorts of yummy things in there. It has CBD, it has olive oil, coconut oil, Epsom salts, I think other salts, and I think it has eucalyptus. I can't remember. I think chamomile. I can't remember what else, but it has a lot of other essential oils in there that are really helpful for herpes outbreaks that will help combat it externally as well. How long do your outbreaks last after having the virus? For a while. I would say mine are a few days, 2-3 days. But I do use the Secret Society wellness products. I do spot treat it externally. I do make sure that I take care of myself. So yeah, they last a couple days, few days. What will happen if I take a salt bath because I took one and I feel like it made it go away? Yeah, salt baths really, really help. I know when I have the tingles, it'll help with the tingles. They really, really help. Good. I'm glad you did that. What about Doctors in Miracle's bath soap? I don't know about Doctors in Miracle bath soaps, but I want to take a time to just say there's a lot of trolls out there, and there's a lot of people preying on us because we are extremely vulnerable when we are diagnosed with herpes. And there's a lot of people claiming to have cures for herpes viruses, and where there might be something out there that supports our immune system or supports the overall well-being of someone with herpes and potentially lowers an outbreak or lowers, the time of an outbreak. I would be very cautious about buying these products. As of now, the technology that we have, we are unable to remove viruses from our body. Once we get them, we have them for life. We can make them go dormant and undetectable in our body, but we still have them. So I just want you all to remember that, and not get I can go buy this cure that someone, Dr. so-and-so, is giving me. I would just be very cautious about that. Do you know about outbreaks under armpits? I do not. I would go get that swabbed. It's not common to be under your armpit. It could be something else. It could be shingles, could be razor burn, could be swollen lymph nodes. But I would definitely get that checked and make sure that that's actually what it is. I've talked to a lot of people that have thought that what they have on their other body parts, it's like, I think I have herpes on my other body part, and what it's turned out to be shingles, which is a herpes cousin. It's a chickenpox virus. So I would just go get that checked. What is the best treatment for HSV-1 around your anus? So that's where I get it too. I like to use our Everyday Wellness Oil. I personally like to spot it with that. The Rescue Balm is also great, but I personally like to spot it with the Everyday Wellness Oil. And then just kind of an Epsom salt bath is always great. It helps dry it out. And then just kind of let it do its thing. If you want to take the antiviral, that helps. If you want to up lysine in your diet, that helps. My favorite lysine are the SOAR products. Those are great. When you have an outbreak, by adding lysine to your diet, it makes it a very hostile environment for that herpes virus. It doesn't like living in a high lysine environment. So that's another thing you can do internally to help. Is it bad if I put A and D ointments on it if it burns? I don't know what A and D ointments are. As far as burning, a lot of times the essential oils can burn because they're so potent. You would want to use a carrier oil. So like coconut oil, olive oil, things like that. I have a 1-year-old and I'm so nervous about accidentally spreading it. Joined the Facebook group and someone said they passed it to their child. So here's the thing. I understand the concern about accidentally or maybe passing it to your child. I personally believe there's far more harm in not living a normal life with your child than it is to pass it. I kiss my baby. I take baths with my baby. I take showers with my baby. If I have an outbreak, I don't, right? But I do. I shower with him and things like that. I feel like that's important, and I feel like it's normal. Like I said, I share drinks with him. I share forks with him. I share food with him. I kiss him, all those things. I feel it's far more harm in not doing those things than accidentally passing it. Because eventually he'll be like, well, what do you mean, mommy? Like, why can't I share this? Or why can't I do this? Or other friends get to do this with their mommy, So that's my personal thought. And, I take precautions, and that's that. Got my first outbreak at the start of my period. Yep. Good old hormones. First thought it was allergic to pads, tampons. Found out it was HSV. Yep. Personally, I feel like the pads and tampons can aggravate it. Personally, I don't know if there's anything proven, but I feel like those things itch and there's chemicals in it. I personally go natural. I use Thinx underwear, and I use the Diva cup, which is like a silicone cup that inserts. I do not use pads or tampons, period, the end. I feel like they itch and they smell and they're disgusting. Like, I don't know. Again, I use things that are natural. But yeah, the hormones in our period, hormones go up. Like, there's this big peak, like both of our hormones are up. Our progesterone, estrogen, all that fun stuff is peaking when we are on our period. And again, it just kind of creates a havoc or a hostile environment inside our body, and boom, opportunity for an outbreak. Some of the things that you can do to get on top of that, if you know it's every period, take some Epsom salt baths, go increase your lysine. I personally like to take monolaurin as well. It's a lauric acid. It's amazing. I love it. Obsessed with it, actually. Excuse me. You could potentially take the antiviral when your period is starting, because you would say, okay, I know this is happening. There's certain foods you could maybe cut out of your diet that would help create more lysine in your diet and take away a lot of the arginine. So there's a few things you can do to start to prepare for it. Am I allowed to share drinks? You have HSV1 genital, but doctor thinks it's possible for me to have it oral as well. Yeah, so share away. Again, a couple things. Okay, so one, if you have genital herpes, you're not going to spread what you have orally. Vice versa, if you have oral herpes, you're not going to spread it genitally. So it doesn't crisscross. If you have it in that location, you are capable of transmitting it. With that being said, I have oral herpes and I still share drinks, right? I share drinks with people that know that I have it. I share drinks with people that, I'm actually not a huge sharer at all. I'm not a good friend that way. But we go out to dinners and stuff. I'm not a good friend in that sense. But I will share a drink with my mom, my dad, my husband, and close family members, maybe a close friend. But again, I do kind of keep to myself. That's me. That has nothing to do with herpes. We all, prior to getting herpes, and if you have oral herpes or genital herpes, whichever one, we all have come in contact with it prior to being diagnosed. So statistically, you've had sex or kissed or received oral sex or whatever from somebody that has it. You've come in contact with it. It's just a matter of you got it that day. So there's been many, many, many times you've had a bite of someone's pizza, you've had a bite of someone's whatever, chip, burrito, I don't know, had a taste of their beer, had a bite of their ice cream cone, whatever, and they have herpes. So again, I want you all to remember that. All right, my friends. Oh, I have so many questions. Okay, a lot of COVID vaccine questions. I don't know. I don't think there's enough research out really on it at all to say that COVID vaccines are causing herpes outbreaks or affecting it or giving people herpes. It's definitely not giving people herpes. It's a completely different virus. I would say that any time that there is hostility in your body or you're sick or your immune system is reacting to something, then it's an opportunity for you to get outbreaks. So whether you actually got COVID and had it, that could cause a herpes outbreak as well, right? Just like getting the flu, just like getting a cold, just like doing certain things. So I wouldn't say that in some people, herpes, your body is probably just protecting itself from the reaction to the vaccine, and therefore it might be causing an outbreak. But I don't know if it's for sure. I don't think anybody knows. You said you wait a few days to have sex. How come your husband doesn't have it if you're not using a condom? He just doesn't. He gets tested. I always tell him every time he goes in, I'm like, hey, are you going to get tested for herpes? And he's like, I wasn't. And I was like, no, I want you to, so that I know and I can tell you guys. I wait a few days after I have an outbreak to have sex. I like to make sure that is healed up. Why does he not have herpes? I don't know. He doesn't. I'm careful. We talk about it. I'm definitely careful when exposing him to it. I think communication is something that also is important. How is it that you're not on meds and your husband doesn't have it? Again, I don't know. 10 years, never had outbreaks. Can I take the antiviral to not pass it? I get a cut or itch sometimes. So the cut might actually be the outbreak. Herpes outbreak can look like a paper cut. That might be the outbreak for you. That might be extremely, calm's not the word, but it might be like a low out, just like a, I can't think of the word, guys. But yeah, you can take the antiviral, talk to your doctor, and, adding lysine to your diet, taking the antiviral can absolutely help reduce the transmission. So, okay, guys, have a great rest of your Monday. I will see you all this rest of the week. If you are a member of the Secret Society, we are meeting tonight at 5:30 Pacific. That is 8:30 Eastern. Would love to see you there if you're members. It's a live group on Zoom. So much fun. Have a great rest of your day. Keep asking questions, and I will answer them either in Instagram or I'll answer them tomorrow. All right, have a great day. Bye, guys.